Hello, good morning, friends. Once again, I am with you, your English teacher Shipra Agrawal, and today I am going to discuss with you A Gift of Chappals Part 2. Now, let's begin the chapter. In the part 1, I discussed with you that Mridu, Ravi, and Meena, all the three children, were in the backyard and playing with the kitten. But on the same time, they noticed a very strange sound and very shrill sound, and that attracted Mridu. So, what happened? Now, that is in the part 2. Now, let's begin. Mridu crept up, underline the word crept. Crept means to move very quietly. After listening that sound, Mridu very quietly moved towards the window. And what she noticed there? Lalli was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring. And now she noticed that Lalli was sitting a little distance away from the window. Awkwardly means not in a good manner, because she is not playing violin in a good manner. So her posture of holding violin and also the bowstring, that was also very bad. Her elbows jutting out means that goes beyond the main lines, and her eyes glazed with concentration, but she was very interested in learning violin. So with full concentration she was playing violin, but her posture was not correct. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music teacher. And now, in front of Lalli, the music teacher was sitting, and the three children from the window can notice the back of the music teacher. Now, in the picture, you can notice what I want to say to you. Okay, in the picture, here is Lalli, and Lalli is playing violin, and here is the music teacher is also playing the violin, but the children were watching from here, so they can notice the back of the music teacher. And Lali posture was not just like the music teacher, because he is not playing violin in a perfect manner. He had a mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old fashioned tuft. Tuft, underline the word tuft. Tuft means you can say a small amount of hair. Almost the head of the music teacher was bald. Bald means बाल नहीं होना, गंजा होना. But there was some hair, and those were very badly oiled, and some hair was coming up to ear. So that is the appearance of music teacher, and in the picture you can notice the remaining hairs were oiled, and also on the ear there were some fringe of the hair. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck. His neck color was not fair. Leather is a substance, you know, by that the purses and the shoes are made. So, the neck of the music teacher was not fair in color, but he was wearing a gold chain, and that chain was shining. And a diamond ring glittered. Glittered again is for shine. So, he is also wearing a diamond ring, and that was also shining in the hand of music teacher. As it glided up and down the stem of the violin, and as he was playing violin, and his hand was going up and down, his diamond ring that he was wearing, that was also going up and down and was shining very sharply. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold bordered vesti edge. Vesti means in Tamil it is called dhoti. The music teacher was wearing a dhoti, and if you notice that the Tamilian people wear a special type of dhoti that is white in color and having a golden border. So what the narrator is saying, from that dhoti a large foot was coming out from the gold border of that dhoti, and he was beating time on the floor, and the scrawny big toe, and his scrawny, in the part 1 I told you it is for the thin, and his thin big toe was coming out from that dhoti, and he was playing violin. He played a few notes. Music teacher played a few notes on his violin. Lully stumbled behind him on her violin. Lully was also trying to play violin behind him, but she couldn't chase her teacher in a perfect manner, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hand. She was trying very hardly, but the violin in the hand of Lully was looking very helpless and unhappy because she could not do her job of playing the violin in a perfect manner. What a difference! The music teacher's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. And now the children noticed that music teacher and the lully both were playing the violin, but there was a great difference. The music teacher's notes were very melodious, and those were looking as if those were floating. Floating बोलते हैं पानी के ऊपर तैरना. Means जो rhythm थे, जो melody थी उन tracks की, it was seemed as if those were floating in the air, and they could feel the melody of the notes. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along, as Ravi said. And now Ravi said that the notes that music teacher was playing, those were so melodious, uh, just like just like the wheels of a train. Now he compared the notes with the moving wheels of the train. रवि क्या कहता है? रवि कंपेयर करता है. रवि कहता है कि जो म्यूज़िक टीचर नोट्स बजा रहे थे वो हवा में इस तरीके से फ्लोट कर रहे थे जैसे कि मानो ट्रेन जो है अपनी पटरी पर स्मूथली विजिंग अलोंग. विजिंग बोलते हैं साउंड को, या ब्रीदिंग नॉइसली, कि उनकी जो साउंड है, साउंड जो है बहुत स्मूथ आ रही थी क्योंकि ट्रेन के पहिए जो हैं ट्रेन की पटरियों पे बहुत अच्छे से दौड़ रहे थे. उसी तरीके से जो म्यूज़िक टीचर के नोट्स थे वो बहुत अच्छे से इन अ रिदमिक मैनर दोज वर फ्लोटिंग. मृदु स्टेयर्ड एट दैट ह्यूज bee-ringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin's stem, making lovely music. And now Mridu was also very attracted towards the music of music teacher, so she stared. Stared means gazed, guna, at that huge means big. Bee-ringed, I already told you, music teacher was wearing a ring. Means music teacher who was wearing a ring, and Mridu was gazing him that how effortlessly, means without any effort, how melodiously he was playing the music on the violin, and the music was really very melodious and very lovely. Squawk! There was Lully, derailing again. Amma! Came a wail from the gate. Amma! Oh! Ravi, send that beggar away. Squawk! But on the contrary, the Lully was playing music in a very bad manner, and now he said, oh, Lully was again creating the same chaos. On the same time, they noticed one sound that was coming from the front yard of the house, and that sound was calling Amma. Came a wail. Wail means a sound, means that sound was not happy sound, it was sound of means unhappy sound. From the gate there a sound was coming, and that sound again and again calling Amma, Amma. Oh Ravi! Now the mom of Ravi said to Ravi, send the beggar away. Oh, that is the sound of a beggar, cried the mother of Ravi, and said, and give the instruction to Ravi that go in the veranda and said that beggar that go away from here. Where she was chatting with Tapi. My Ravi's mother was busy in the chatting with the Tapi. Tapi means the grandmother of Mridu. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it's time he found another house to beg from, Pati explained to Tapi. Now Pati means in Tamil it means the mother. The mother of Ravi said to Tapi, means the grandmother of Mridu, that oh, this same beggar every day used to come in my house from past week, and now said to that beggar that go anywhere else to beg from. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out because the mother of Ravi gave him the instruction. So Ravi went out, and Mridu and Meena also persuaded the Ravi. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. When Ravi reached there, Ravi noticed that the beggar was already in the garden, and he was very comfortable in the garden just like his own home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree. In Ravi's courtyard, there was a huge neem tree, and that beggar already spread his upper cloth under that tree and was leaning मतलब झुकने को बोलते हैं, bow down, against its trunk. Apparently means clearly, prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the alms to appear. Snooze means short sleep. Now beggar was making a complete arrangement for his relaxation. What he did, there was a huge neem tree. He spread his upper cloth under that tree, and now he was clearly prepared to take a short nap, and also waiting for the alms means money that generally the party used to give to him. Go away, said Ravi sternly. Sternly means in a grin sound, means in a firm sound. Ravi said to him, go away from here. My party says it's time you found another house to beg from. Oh, this is the instruction of my party. My party is saying that now you have to go somewhere else and found some new house for your begging. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one, because the beggar was very comfortable and he was trying to sleep. Now beggar opened his eyes and looked all the children, and one by one start gazing all the children. The ladies of this house, he said at last in a voice choked with feeling. Now beggar, with a heavy voice, because his heart was filled with emotions, so his voice was also choked. बैगर की कंडीशन बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब थी, और बैगर बोलते बोलते उसका बैगर का गला भर आता है, और वो क्या कहता है, द लेडीज़ ऑफ दिस हाउस are very kind souls. Oh no, don't say like this, because the ladies of this house are very kind souls. Souls everyone know, आत्मा जिसको बोलते हैं, यानी वेरी गुड बींग. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week, and only because of the generosity. Generosity means udar hriday, means the ladies of this house having a big heart, and only by their kind nature I am surviving still. I cannot believe that they would turn me away, and I cannot believe on my ears that those ladies are saying that I have to go from here. He raised his voice, Amma, Amma, oh, sad his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. Now, Amma, Amma, beggar started shouting and again started calling to the party of Ravi. His voice was very sad, but his voice was not feeble. Feeble means weak. वो आवाज़ दे रहा था रवि की माँ को, बार बार बैगर पुकार रहा था, अम्मा अम्मा. उसकी आवाज़ में दुख था, लेकिन उसकी आवाज़ कहीं से भी कमज़ोर नहीं थी. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly, and came booming out of his mouth with its remaining teeth stained brown with beetle chewing. It began in a deep, and that sound was coming from the deep of that person because withered belly means stomach, withered means वैसे dried को बोलते हैं, but here is his stomach don't have food, so this sound was coming from the empty stomach of that beggar, and from the mouth it was coming out, and at the time he was chewing the betel chewing means जो पान सुपारी चबाते रहते हैं, and because of that stains means spots, उसके जो दांत थे उस पे ब्राउन कलर के stains थे, and now such was the appearance of the beggar. He was chewing betel, his stomach was empty, and the words were coming out from his mouth, and he was calling Amma. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen. Amma again said to Ravi, "Oh Ravi, said to that beggar that there is nothing in my kitchen called Rukumani, and he is not to come again. Tell him that." And also said to that beggar that don't come here again. She sounded fed up. Ravi did not have to repeat it all to the beggar. The Amma, or you can say the Rukumani, shouted these words. So Ravi should not repeat those words to the beggar because it was very clear to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. Oh, all the children were very disheartened that what the mother was saying, because the children was not expecting such type of behavior from the mother. And now the beggar was sitting under the neem tree and sighed. Sighed means taking a deep breath. He was taking a deep breath and feeling very hopeless. I'll go, he said wearily. Wearily means he was very tired and said, "Okay, I'll go. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. Only please give me the permission to take some rest under this tree. The sun is so hot." And he said to the children, "Oh children, please look at the sky. The sun is very hot. The tar has melted." Tar has melted means on the road there is the damar, and that is also melted because of the heat of the sun. My feet are already blistered. Blistered means the balls. जब आपके बॉल्स मतलब फफोले पड़ जाना, जब हम कोई अंग जल जाता है तो क्या होता है, आपकी स्किन जो है वो पफ हो जाती है और उसके अंदर वाटर आ जाता है, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड ब्लिस्टर. सो ही शोड हिज फीट टू द चिल्ड्रन. ओ चिल्ड्रन, इट इज़ टू hot, and so please allow me to take rest under this neem tree. And also showed his feet that already in his feet there were many blistered, that is because of the heat of the sun. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. As he stretched out means phailana. As he stretched out his feet, and he showed the children that already there were pink peeling blisters on the soles of the bare feet. Bare feet means नंगे पैर. बैगर के पास स्लीपर्स नहीं थी तो वो नंगे पैर था, और उसके पैरों के सोल्स पे मीन्स तलवे पे पिंक कलर के मोटे मोटे ब्लिस्टर्स मतलब फफोले हो गए थे. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Meena and Ravi. Now Mridu was very disappointed after looking the souls of that beggar, and whispered means in a very low sound. He said to Meena and Ravi, I suppose, I guess that I think that beggar don't have chappals. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? Don't know, said Ravi. Now she asked to Ravi, "Oh Ravi, is there any old pair of slipper in your house? Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him." Now he said that, "Oh, my slippers are very small and that would not fit to that beggar, otherwise I would give my own slipper to that beggar." And his feet were larger than Mridu's and Meena, and the feet of beggar was also larger than Mridu's and Meena's feet. So all the three children were very disturbed that how to arrange slipper for beggar. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. And now beggar was trying to make himself comfortable. He was shaking matlab hilana, his upper cloth and also tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road. And now he looked on the road, gleaming in the afternoon heat, because it was the time of the afternoon and there was too much heat, too much sunshine on the road. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes filling. Now Meena's eyes filled with tears, and Meena said, "Oh, that beggar needs something to wear in his feet. It is not fair." Shh, said Ravi. Ravi tried to make silent to Meena and said, "Shh, quiet. Don't shout in such a manner. I am thinking about it. Oh, I am thinking about it." Blubbering, "It is not fair. It is not fair." And now he was muttering, "Oh, it is not fair, not fair. We have to arrange sleeper for that beggar. Isn't going to help. In 2 minutes, he will be frying his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. So, where do we get them? Come, let's search the house." He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Now Ravi started thinking, "Oh, if that fellow without sleepers go in that sunshine, that almost his feet will be fried. So what we have to do, we have to arrange a pair of chappals." So now he said to Mridu and Meena, come inside the house and start searching for a pair of chappals for the beggar." Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd looking chappal she had noticed when she arrived. Just as she stepped into the veranda, means as they crossed the veranda, Mridu noticed the same chappals that she noticed when she was arrived. "Ravi," she whispered to him. In a very low sound, she said, "Whose are those? Oh, whose chappals are those?" Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby looking but sturdy old sleepers. Now Ravi looked those sleepers, those were shabby. Shabby means dirty looking, but sturdy means but good sleepers those were. He beamed and nodded. Now he nodded means he shook his head. "These are just the right size. Oh, those sleepers are perfect in the size," he said, picking them up, and now he picked those sleepers. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Mridu and Meena also followed Ravi, but at the time both of them were very nervous. "Here," said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the sleepers in front of the old man. Now Ravi dropped down the sleepers in front of the old man and said, "Wear these and don't come back. Oh, please, wear those sleepers and don't come here again." The beggar stared at the sleepers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder, pushed his feet into them, and left, muttering a blessing to the children. And now the beggar stared means gazed, घूर के देखता है दो स्लीपर्स उन चप्पलों को. Hurriedly flung his towel means flung his towel over his shoulder. जो उसका शोल्डर पे टाल होता है वो फ्लंग होता है, हिलता है. Pushed his feet into them and left. And now beggar pushed his feet, wore those sleepers, muttering and blessing, and now he start giving the blessing to the children. Means mutter matlab badbadana. In a minute he had vanished. Vanish means disappeared around the corner of the street, and after wearing those sleeper, in a minute that beggar was disappeared on the street. The music master came out of the house and took an unappreciative look at the three of them sitting quietly under the tree playing marbles. Then he searched for his chappals in the veranda. Now music teacher came out and disapprovingly, in unappreciative means disapprovingly, he looked the three children who were playing under the tree. And now he started searching his chappals that was in the veranda, where he had put them. Unappreciative, disapprovingly, "Lalli," he called. After a few minutes, she hurried up to him. "Have you seen my chappals, my dear?" Remember having kept them here. Now music teacher asks to Lally, "Oh Lally, do you see my chappals? I think that I have removed my chappals here, but now my slippers are not here." Ravi, Mridu, and Meena silently watched Lally and the music teacher search every corner of the veranda. Now, Ravi, Mridu, and Meena, all the three were very silently watching the music teacher and the Lally, who were searching the complete veranda. He scurried around, looking over the railing and crouching near the flower pots to look between them. Each and every corner of the veranda was searched, the railing, the crouching of the flower beds, uh, all the places were searched. Brand new they were. Now music teacher starts saying, "Oh, my sleepers were brand new. I went all the way to Mount Road to buy them. Oh, for buying those sleepers I went to the Mount Road." He went on saying. Now he started boast off. जो म्यूजिक टीचर था वो डींगे मारता है कि मैं माउंट रोड गया था उनको खरीदने, मेरी ब्रांड न्यू स्लीपर्स थी. They cost a whole month fees, do you know? And now he threatened Lally. "Oh Lally, those were so costly. Means their cost is just similar to the 1 month your tuition fee." Soon Lally went in to tell her mother. Rukumani appeared, looking harassed, with parties following her. Where could they be? Now Lally told the entire matter to her mother Rukumani, and now Rukumani came in the veranda, and my party means the grandmother also came with the lady, and she was very feeling very harassed, and she said, "Oh, where could they be? It's really quite upsetting to think someone might have stolen them." And now Rukumani said, "I thought that somebody had stolen your sleepers. So many vendors. Vendors means sellers come to the come to the door, worried party. Party said, "Oh, many vendors generally used to come here, so I thought that one of vendor has stolen the sleeper." Rukumani caught sight of Ravi, Mridu, and Meena sitting under the tree. "Have you children?" she began, and then, seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. "Seen anyone lurking around the veranda?" Now Rukumani started asking Ravi, Mridu, and Meena, who were playing under the tree. "Oh, do you know where the sleepers are? Or do you notice anyone who was lurking inside the veranda and had stolen the sleepers?" A sharp V shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. Means the Rukumani, when she was inquiring with the children, at the time she was very angry, and both of the eyebrows were make were both of the eyebrows create a picture of V shape. जब इंसान गुस्से में होता है ना तो उनकी भौहें जो है तन जाती हैं, तो just like that there was the shape of the eyebrows. Another straight, tighter one appeared in place of her usually soft, pleasant mouth. Generally, the Rukumani was always pleasant and soft spoken, but this time she was asking the question in a very stern voice. Rukumani was angry because she was very angry. Thought Mridu was a shiver. And now Mridu, because she knows the reality, she starts shiver. Shiver means kapna, tremble. She wouldn't be so upset if she knew about the poor beggar with sores on his feet. She tried to tell herself. She knew about the poor beggar with sores. She tried to tell herself. Now Mridu tried to tell herself that if they will say to the aunt about the source of that beggar, she would not say anything. "Take a deep breath," she cried. "Rukumani, there was a beggar here. Poor thing, he had such boils on his face." "So," said Rukumani grimly, turning to Ravi, "you gave the music teacher's chappal to that old beggar who turns up here." "Okay, okay. It means there was a poor beggar and you gave the music teacher's chappal to that beggar." "Children these days," groaned Pati. Now Pati, groan means gurrana, means in a angry sound she said, "Oh, nowadays how the children are." Amma, didn't you tell me about Karna? Everyone know the story of Danveer Karn. So the same story Ravi reminded to his mother, who gave away everything he had, even his gold earrings. He was so kind and generous. Oh Amma, you told me the story about Karna, who had given all his things, even his gold earrings, because he was very kind and very generous. Silly, snapped Rukumani. Rukumani said, "Oh, you are very silly. Karna didn't give away other people's thing. He only gave away his own. Oh, Karna donated his own things, not the things of another people. But my chappals wouldn't have fitted the beggar's feet." Ravi rushed brashly on. Now Ravi said, "Oh Amma, but my chappals were not properly fitted to that beggar's feet. And Amma, if they did fit, would you really not have minded? Or Amma, if my slippers would fit to the beggar and I would donate those slippers to the beggar, tell me, do you not mind?" "Ravi," said Rukumani, very angry now, "go inside this minute. Go inside the house." She hurried indoors and brought out Gopu Mama's hardly worn new chappals. And now my mama goes inside and she took out a very new pair of slipper, that was the slippers of Gopu Mama. "These should fit you, sir. Please put these on. I'm so sorry. My son has been very naughty." And now she asks apology to the music teacher. "Oh, sir, I thought that those slippers will be properly fitted to your feet. Please wear it. And I'm very sorry that my child is very naughty." The music master's eyes lit up, because now lit up means eyes sparkled. He put them on, trying not to look too happy. म्यूज़िक मास्टर उन चप्पल को देखते ही उनकी आंखें चमक उठती है, लेकिन वो ऐसा दिखाते हैं जैसे कि वो बिल्कुल भी खुश नहीं है. "वेल, आई सपोज दीज विल हैव टू डू. ओके, मेरा काम चल जाएगा. These days children have no respect for elder. What to do? A Hanuman incarnate. Only Rama can save such a naughty fellow." And now he started cursing the children. "Oh, what type of children nowadays? They don't have the respect of elder. Only the Hanuman can save them. The only Rama can save them." Rukumani's eyes flashed. She didn't seem to like Ravi being called a monkey, even a holy monkey. Even a holy monkey. And now the Ravi's eyes were. Rukumani was not happy because he compared his child with the monkey god Hanuman. She stood stiff and straight by the front door. It was clear she wanted him to leave quickly. Very stiffly and in a straightforward manner, she was standing on the front door and she wanted that music teacher will leave the house quickly. When he had clattered off in his new chappal, clattered means sound that was creating by the new chappal, she said, "Mridu, come in and have some tiffin. Honestly, how do you children think of such things?" And now she called Mridu, "Oh Mridu, come inside and have something. Thank God your Gopu Mama doesn't wear his chappal to work. Oh, thank God that Gopu Mama does not wear these chappal at the time of work." As she walked towards the kitchen with Mridu and Meena, she suddenly began to laugh. And now all the children with Rukumani start laughing because she thanked to the God कि गोपू मामा की चप्पल थी और वो काम पे चप्पल पहनकर नहीं गए थे, अदरवाइज पता नहीं क्या होता. And like that, all the three burst in laughter. But he is always in such a hurry to throw off his slippers and socks and get into his chappals as soon as he comes home. But after work, when he come back to the home, when he will remove his shoes and socks and he wanted the chappals, what's your mama going to say this evening when I tell him I gave his chappal to the music teacher? Then what will be the expression of your mama when I will say that I have donated his chappal to the music teacher? Thank you, students. Enjoy this chapter. I hope that you understand this chapter very well. Have a nice day.